Hey everybody, it's Master Galangeist here, bringing you my review of the season finale of Supernatural Alpha and Omega. So, overall, I was really happy with this episode, and with this season finale. Towards the end, it was a little bit eh, but overall, I really liked it. I mean, I liked how it ended the conflict and kind of set up for kind of where the next season's going, and, well, it's kind of interesting to see what direction they'll take. So, it started off after the failed attempt to capture Amara. God's not doing pretty good, but we got Cass back. It's like, yay! Oh, and I was really happy that this episode started with Carry On My Wayward Son, because I, they sometimes choose when to use it, but I really like that they're doing that again. It always pumps you up for a season finale. And they're kind of like trying to get their bearings. They're like, what do we do? God's dying. I mean, what kind of plan do we have? Trapping Amara would be useless at this point. What do we do? And it was funny seeing Rowena like, all right, let's get you a cup of tea. Hopefully that'll do something. And Crowley's like, oh, let's just watch the world burn. And Ham's like, we gotta do something. We need a plan, guys. And Dean's like, well, I'm gonna get some beer and more beer. So yes. And he's like going through and all this stuff. And they're kind of talking and figuring out what'll happen when God dies, because the sun is dying, creation's kind of getting out of whack, and they're like, well, reality will cease to exist. So they're like, well, what happens if we kill Amara? Balance the scales, both sides. I mean, it kind of is. You would think it wouldn't make that much sense, but if the choice is complete destruction of reality and possibly just the balancing of the scales, it was kind of interesting. It's kind of like the situation, they've got no other choice. And I also like that they cut to Dean and Castiel, and I was like, you know what? You're a brother to us, pretty much. We'll do anything to help you out, man. And it was really nice to have that moment between Dean and Cass, because you really don't get that much. I mean, Dean always feels that way, but he never expresses it too much, unless it's in dire circumstances, kind of like this, where the world's going to end. So they pretty much come up with a plan to kill the darkness as well. But they're like, all right, how do we do this? I mean, the one thing that could probably take her out, God, is pretty much dead. What could defeat her? There's like light, maybe souls and all that. So they come up with the idea to build a soul bomb. And they're like, all right, Cass, we'll try and see if you can get any out of heaven. Crowley, look for hell. Oh yeah, we can go to this really extremely haunted asylum and catch some souls there. And I really liked that part, and that it kind of was old school ghost hunting and trying to kind of trap them, kind of mixed with a Pokemon kind of feeling like, all right, we got to do this rock thing and kind of catch them all. And Dean's like, I ain't trusting this. And then they get them all together, and Sam's like, say the word, say the word, say the word, pious. And it worked, and they're like, huh, no magic word. It was just really cool, and seeing them walk off like cowboys was just awesome. So, as they're walking off, that's when Billy the Reaper kind of pops up. That's kind of interesting, because they've got everything. They really couldn't get any souls out of hell or heaven, and then Billy shows up in the bunker, and everything's going off. It's like, okay, well, I'm about an hour away from reaping God, so you guys need souls? I'll give them to you. So she takes the rock and puts like hundreds of thousands of souls in there. You're like, well, I can raid the veil. If you need souls, Reaper! I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, good luck trying it. And Rowena's like, okay, we need someone to be able to get close to the darkness to kind of make this work. And the only one who can pretty much do that is Dean. So you're pretty much going to be the one. He's like, all right, got this. So as this is going on, Amar's kind of looking at what she's done and what she's doing. And granted, it's in her nature, since she's the darkness, because she's the one that would destroy things. But as she's going on through the world, she doesn't like that her touch kills flowers and stuff like that. And she kind of starts understanding creation in a better way. And understanding kind of maybe why God would put her away. Not really saying that it's the best course of action, but kind of understanding what he's created. And I like that humanizing aspect of her. I mean, yeah, it's late in the game for it, but it comes across effectively, and it actually kind of works. So, they God clicks Dean into there as they go to a bar to kind of wait out what's going on, and she's asking, what'll this accomplish? I mean, you know you can't do it. I mean, there'd be better people to send than you. And he's like, listen, I got nothing else. I mean, he's your family. I mean, I know I've gotten into tiffs with my brother and everything, but we're family. We're all we've got. That's the thing at the end of the day. And it kind of clicks for the, like, God's their brother, and even though they've done things to each other, even though they've hurt each other, they still need to have that connection back. So she brings God there and heals them, and they apologize to each other. She's understood kind of why he's made this, and they've kind of reconciled. And I know it sounds kind of stupid, but when you have siblings like that, and you kind of see that, you kind of really like it. Because the reconciliation of that kind of thing really brings it together. You really don't want to see people end each other like that. You kind of want to see something come together. And since they're both like primordial forces of reality, it was really kind of cool seeing them light and dark, like the yin and yang, chaos and order, like all that. And Amar's like, well, Dean, I've got something for you as well since you taught me so much. And to be honest, I would have been happy if that was a season, like not a season, a series ender, because it just felt nice just to be like that. And it was really cool and effective. And then it goes to the end of the episode. Now, I don't really have too many problems with it. It's just kind of little things. One thing I liked was that when Dean comes back out of the garden, he sees that Mary Winchester's been brought back to life. And it's the same actress that's like, yay! Oh my god, that is a really good gift. And then Sam walks into the bunker, and this British lady, who's actually been tracking the Winchesters for a long time, is in the bunker, zaps out Cass, and pretty much says that she's taking him to the Men of Leather's Elder Council to answer for what they've done. And I'm thinking, because of all the apocalypse scenarios that they've done, I'm like thinking, the show's been on for 11 seasons. Granted, the end-worlding stuff hasn't started happening until like season 4, season 5, but still, that's a long time to not get to this point. It's like, okay. It was a kind of thing like seeing her throughout that's like, okay, what's going on? How's this setting up for next season? And then she shoots at Sam because he gets too close, and it's like, you know he's not going to be killed because, well, he could be killed, but he's probably going to come back really quickly because the show revolves around the brothers. And that's going to be a pretty big thing. And he needs to be able to connect with his mom as well since she died when he was a baby. It really puts some interesting stuff together. It's just, I thought that the Men of Letters would take more action at this point, especially since the bunker and everything was a pretty big thing in season 8, and we're in season 11 now. So, I don't know, it's just the timing of it more than anything than actually the use of it. But it'll be interesting if this becomes, we need to kind of, we've gotten to like the biggest threat at the moment. And unless like God and Mamara's father or mother or some other kind of like being comes out of nowhere, that's kind of like the biggest threat that we've had at this point. And I think it's going to be kind of like it's not going to be a less tense season, but we're getting more kind of grounded, kind of with the Men of Letters. And I'm kind of excited to see where that goes. And especially with the introduction of Mary Winchester, that is going to have some interesting implications. And I'm excited to see where that goes. So, that's my opinion on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.